Greetings there, fellow blacksmiths. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival. Episode 16. Hammer, Sparks, and Plates. Alright, let's do the crucible, and then we'll try to rummage up some food. Oh, that's a jug. That's not a crucible, but my crucible is here. Mark the cave? I did. You can see on the minimap, it's massive white marker. Alright, we have got lots of metal making materials left over. We have some more andesite stone, if we want to make like cobble or something. The hook itself. So the skinning hook that we want is resin. So that's the other thing we're going to need to look for while we're out. Because I've found some resin trees already, but they're not nearby. So like worst case scenario, I could go for the resin trees. It would be obnoxious because the resin we found is like way over here. I think what I want to do is extend the lip for this out one. Get a little bit more coverage. So we got the redwoods over there, and the oaks over here. And we'll see. I'll just try to get some. I'll try to get some more mushrooms from the oak area. Hey, Viking! Thank you for the resub. What is porridge again? Porridge is just grain, no water? Is there a soup? Because I know you can add honey, but is there soup that has grain? No. Vegetable and protein with stock. Alright, so let's make a porridge then. That's fine. Grain and veg makes a meal. I don't have any grain. I mean, I don't have any veg. I just have grain. So I was going to make some basic rice porridge just for the food needs right now. And that might need one more piece of coal. Yeah, we're definitely going to need one more piece. Alright, making some boiled water. And here's our rice porridge. Just to stave off immediate starvation. And as you can see, the rice porridge dehydrated us because it's pretty dry. That's what it is. So we'll make another batch of boiled water, filling up our water needs. quite boiled yet. Alright, one more piece of wood. Should do. Temperature of the water is 200 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's possible. What, in a pressure cooker? Alright, so we got our boiled water. Cool. Actually, no, this is regular water? What the hell? I guess it didn't boil. Dang it, I pulled it too soon. Because yeah, that's boiled water and the crucible. Let's put the crucible over here. I swear I said boiled water when I moused over it, not water. Because water reduces your food. There it is, boiled water. Okay. Yep. Good. Alright, we're all set. So, we are looking for resin, I guess. So, yeah. Resin is only going to be found on pine or acacia trees. And that's a little tricky because there ain't a lot of that. While we look for resin, I ought to forage whatever we can find, like, vegetable-wise. Oh, you know, those might be pines right there. Hey, problem solved. We only needed one piece of resin, and this is to make the skinning hook. The skinning hook to be able to skin animals requires it. Oh, what is that tree? Oh, that's one bushy-looking tree. This... Oh, no, I didn't dig this. I'm curious. Give me a moment. No, this is tiny. I'm gonna prospect it anyway. Cause you never know. We've got ilmenite, which is basically totally useless to us. So I'm going to mark this down as a cave we have searched. So cave fully searched is in, like, black, and a cave that we haven't fully searched is in white. The cave that we found, I don't even think I've fully searched yet, which is why I'm leaving it in the white. Oh, this is just a giant kapuk tree. I didn't realize they became 2x2s, but we'll have to cut that down at some point. Alright. Maybe they're redwoods and not pine over here. I thought they were pine from a distance, but now that I'm getting closer, I'm not so sure. Yeah, that's definitely oak. We might need to do some exploring for resin. Resin might be a bit of a tough bottleneck for us to crack. Oh, we got some boar. And then I know on top of that, we are also going to need, yeah, those are redwoods. We're going to need, oh, more red clay. A whole lot of resin if we want to do mechanical power at some point. So that will be another hurdle to clear later on. So we might not get resin from these trees, but we'll get fed. Shiitake, beetle tooth. It's a good start. Oh, there's some soy there. At this point, it wouldn't be outrageous of an idea to just, like, try to get all the seeds from all crops that I happen upon that are, like, edible or useful crops, like soy, and turn them, you know, put them in the farm. Because wild crops aren't going to continue growing. They're kind of like... They stagnate where they are. So, let's do that. So the mature soybeans, I know I'm going to get stuff out of them, but the immature stuff might just not yield anything, but it doesn't matter at this point. So soybeans themselves, you can soak in water to pickle, or just treat them like a normal vegetable, but they serve both purposes. Not all vegetables can pickle, I think. I could be wrong about that, but the ones that can, you should. So some of these trees are like maples. Oh, what was... Okay, that was a bunny. Freaked me out. But I don't think I saw any pine trees here. So yeah, it might be a bit of a struggle to try to find the resin. So we'll see what we can do. You also looking for borax? Exactly. With my... I mean, I felt pretty lucky so far. We might just, like, happen upon it. One of the reasons why I'm going to these caves is just looking for, like, borax or salt or something like that. Like, this is a yet another massive one, so... I did get prospecting data very close to the... Oh! Copper? Quartz? Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to need a lot of copper. I just keep finding it in these caves. I know I only have 9 pieces of dirt, so I'm not going to go very far in this one, which is why I'll leave it partially searched. Yeah, if we want to make bulk leather, we're definitely going to need to find borax or some sort of limestone, marble, like, you know, something like that. Chalk. So the things that make lime are limestone, shells, marble stone, you know, something like that. That would be good to find. I think as we, I might turn back and do the rest of the, so as far as skigging hooks go, circling back a little bit, I don't think that there's a non-resin alternative, which is unfortunate. There is an advanced skinning hook. What? But that's just iron, right? Is the ceiling skinning hooks a different... No, it's just the regular skinning hook with a wrench. Okay. So that seems to be a bottleneck that might be difficult to clear. We'll see. Time will tell. There's caves. Oh, yeah, there's caves everywhere. This one I can see on the world map, though. Like that one, that one, that one, that one. Here's some cypress. Oh, and a boar sitting there. And more boars. So now that it's dark, it's going to be harder for me to search. So I'm going to head back home, cook up some of these mushrooms, and then do some more of the metalwork required for the project. And then come daytime, we'll go back to resin searching. Because it's not productive to try to find resin at night. It's just not going to be able to spot it. There we go. That's a hearty meal. Rocked right through the bear marker. Yep. Well, if there was a bear, I would have just spawned back here at home. Would have felt a little stupid, but, you know. That's just typical Tuesday for me. Or Thursday, I guess. Putting down the new soybeans. We'll see how they fare. So, I have all of the copper I need. Let's make a batch of bronze. Another 200 batch of bronze for the other tools that we'll need. And I'm leaving all the tin bronze bits separate because I can turn them into arrowheads later on. So I'm more or less intentionally not using them at the moment, because they'll serve a separate purpose later on. If you're wondering, the priority I'm working on is voted on. So it was voted that I work on hunting and butchering, which is why I'm not doing other things. So there's a lot of things I could be working on, but what actively grabs my attention was voted on. All right, let's put away the rest of all my one soybean. Yep. At least the hearty meal will keep me fed for a bit. And then once we pour off the tin bronze, I'll start hammering the plates. I'll just plate both my meals because I don't think they're going to spoil before I consume them. Cheers! Hey, Sushi! Thank you for the resub. Yes, it is fitting. That's so cool, the smoke. Ooh, smoke radar. Wow, that water really does not stay fresh very long. So I'll be able to get the butcher table, but not the hook, which is like a weird hang-up, if you ask me. The smoke looking strange at night was mentioned on the mod page, the volumetric clouds. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Does look a little weird, but it looks cool to me. So the turnip's stunted. Moisture levels are not 100% everywhere, but they shouldn't drop any lower than 80, I think, with the furrowed soil. So I'm fine with it being at 80. It'll slow down growth rates a little bit, but not enough for me to really care. Because at scale, it doesn't really matter. Alright, pouring off a bronze, and heating up our copper. So these bronze will become like a knife, a cleaver, and a... something else. I forget what else we need. Knife, cleaver, and shears. So we'll have to do one more batch of bronze, but I'll make 2 ingots in the next batch too, because we can add something in. What the hell is that? furrow blocking? That's interesting. I didn't realize that was a function. Huh. Good to know. So now that we have the copper coming, let's get ready to hammer. Soon it will be hammer time. And making plates is pretty simple. I don't have a helve hammer, so we're going to have to do it manually. So we put this down, we start a plate, grab another, and stack it on top. And then it's just smash. And probably heavy hits. The way to start a plate, just smash as hard as you can, and then flatten it out. So a helve hammer, if you're wondering, if you don't know, is a mechanical hammer driven by windmill blades, which will do plate making for you automatically once you have a helve hammer and axles and all the setup required for it, which I do not. And Merry Christmas to you too. So in our next bronze, I might want a spare hammer, because my hammer is lower durability than my pick. So I need to make 3 tools for the butcher table. The shears, the knife, and the cleaver. And then I'll have 1 ingot left over if I do a full batch of bronze next run. And that 1 ingot left over, I'll make into a spare hammer, because this hammer is wearing out, and I don't want to have no hammer. I mean, I have a spare copper hammer, but that's like a backup, which I don't tend to use. And boy, having a helve hammer is nice, because manually making plates ain't exactly quick. And there will be some spare copper nuggets as a result of this that I can either turn into bronze or keep for... I'll probably just turn into bronze. Because tin bronze nuggets I can turn into arrowheads, but I don't want copper arrowheads if I can have bronze ones, because bronze ones will do more damage. Although that didn't form that didn't form nuggets. Hey, Viking! Whoa! Thank you for the gifted subs! Alright. Hope these copper ingots are hot enough for another plate. Worst case scenario, I can just reheat the project back up, so it's not a problem if it's not hot enough. But yeah, making plates, as you can see, is wearing the hell out of this hammer. This hammer does not have a lot of durability left, which is exactly why I have the copper backup that I'll use in emergencies only, so that I always have a spare. Because this thing might actually break during the creation of this plate. But if it doesn't, the next hammer I make will be a copper one. Oh, it's also worth noting, if you have a spare hammer on you, when you're... Maybe Smithing Plus fixes this, but traditionally in vanilla Vintage Story, when your hammer breaks and you automatically have a spare tool, and this is true for all tools, like if you have a spare hoe, you'll just hot swap the new hoe into your hands. The thing is, it will change its strike type. So the default strike type is the heavy hit. So if you break your tool, if you break your hammer and you replace it automatically, your next swipe won't be what your last preset was, it will be the heavy hit. Which, in vanilla Vintage Story, can actually screw up what you're working on. Potentially. Which is, like, not cool when that happens. Oh my goodness. Butcher table, you are so much work. Alright, the hammer survived. Barely, but it survived. And I'm quenching it just so I don't have to use my tongs, because having anything in your offhand makes you hungrier. No need for that. Hungry enough as it is. Food and water is topped. Okay. So we have the bronze for a new hammer. And knife, maybe. Shears or cleaver, doesn't matter which. But let's make another batch of bronze while we work. So that is 36 and 4. And I'm stretching the tin as much as we can, because obviously we have so much copper, it's ridiculous. Like every time I go into a cave, a new cave, it's like, oh, copper's here. Cool. That'll work for me. Alright, so that's going to heat up, and we'll pour it into these two molds. And then these bronze will become a hammer and a knife. And I'm almost guaranteed to break my hammer trying to make a new hammer. So I'll plan for it to break and have my spare hammer in my hand, which is why I have a spare hammer. And come daybreak, we'll be on the hunt for resin again. Oh, I can't wait to be butchering. Oh, so many hogs, so much meat, so much red meat. We're gonna have soups and stews, and won't have to worry about food as much. So this is going to become a hammerhead. Just making sure I don't make a helve hammer. And most of this is just going to be split, I think. Come on, don't break on me. Actually, the hammerhead requires a lot of metal. I take it back, it won't be split. Because we only have 4 pieces, or 2 pieces more than we need, as it says at the top. Game will actually, or the mod will actually tell you how many extra nuggets you have. Oops, wrong way. There we go. And it broke. Alright. Interestingly, you don't need to wait for it to cool down for it to become a workable, usable tool. So there we go. 2 swings on our spare. Oh, right! I have a broke... why'd I do it this way? Well, we can have a spare of a spare. Because I can fix this. I totally forgot I'm using Smithing Plus. Like, just derped hard. Alright, and then this one is going to become... shears. Why not shears? Alright, is this pourable? Yes. Well, we'll have extra hammers. Hammer time. Or I could chisel it down to nothing, but I'll just have extra hammers. It's fine. Alright, this is... So we're making the shears for the butcher table. And shears is one of the more annoying things to make, I would say. Due to the fact that you have to, like, move a lot of material for it. Probably shield hoops are the most annoying in standard smithing. Wondering if you guys agree, but yeah, the hoops for shields, the metal shields, is like, ugh. Because you have to take an ingot and turn it into a ring. Which it don't want to be a ring, if you're wondering. Just wait for the iron anvil? I mean, I've made iron anvils. They're annoying, but they're only annoying once. As long as you don't break your anvil somehow. I have no idea how you'd break it and... Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. I have no idea how you'd manage to break an iron anvil, though. Iron anvils are not really easily broken. Unless you intentionally chisel them down. And there's some rules to the smithing, like you can't move a voxel unless there's like a nearby edge to move it to. So the rules are like somewhat permissive about how you can move voxels, but you can't just like move them magically from nowhere. Alright, there we go. We got the shears. Put the extra bit away. And given that it's daybreak, we might want to go resin hunting. So I have a little bit of porridge left. Is this the one with water in it? No. I'm going to make a new batch of boiled water, and then we'll go resin hunting. Also, I'm like essentially out of firewood as well. And never a bad thing to have extra hammers and Smithing Plus. So this is broken one time, and for us to fix it, we would heat it back up to its workable temperature, which is 475, and then or smelt it into a bronze ingot again. Maybe that's what I would do. Just smelt it in a bronze ingot. Something like that. Boop. Smelt it in a bronze ingot and then turn it into something else. I don't know. Does stuff have to fully break before you repair it? As far as I know, yeah. There are mods that allow you to repair on the fly, mind you. I just don't have them. Alright, we're good to go. Look for pine. I feel like heading inland to the east, southeast is going to be my best bet. And I'm going to heavily rely on you guys to be another set of eyes. Both for, like, pine and any other valuable resource I might want. Like I wouldn't mind finding even more ground copper, even though I really don't think copper is going to be an issue. Forageables, berry bushes. I might want to just like knife some berry bushes back home too. I'm not even going to bother with the cave entrances. I don't want to waste time. I really want to find the resin. Because as soon as we find a single piece of resin, we'll be able to progress considerably with butchery. Because all that then subsequently be required is for me to hammer out the other tools for the butchery table, and then we can quickly make like a butchery basket, which isn't really all that expensive. Just some like wild vines and papyrus or cattails. And then we'll be able to butcher up creatures and turn them into delicious food. And then also make like offal based meats, and we'll have some fats for pelt if we want to make pelts, you know, so on and so forth. Are these maples or? Yeah, those are maples. What is that? It's just a tree hollow. Huh! I grabbed flax seeds out of it. I stole some bird's flaxseed out of a tree hollow. So we've got maples here, oaks, but no pine. Yeah, I suspect I'm going to have to do a considerable amount of, like, wandering the wilderness in order to find what I'm looking for. So be it. I'm also out of, cooked meals, so... I know I can forage up cattail roots, but I am hoping it doesn't come to that. Those look like redwoods to me. Not pine. That might be pine. It's kind of hard to tell from a distance. We could also look for acacia trees, or however you pronounce that, for a different sorts of resin. Yeah, these are pine. These are redwoods. Pine is never 2x2, so that's a big tell. And these, I think, are bald cypress. I'm bad at identifying. Yeah, bald cypress. I'm not great at identifying the different tree types from distant. Oh, you're just a panda. I'm so used to, like, all bears are scary. In fact, that looks like a scary bear right there. Those look like oaks, I think. And a pretty good view here. That's a redwood. These are maybe cypresses. I don't know what they are off in the distance. These are maples? Birch and maples. Yum, earthworm. Yep, maples. Alright, hogs. Got it. Oh, high fertility soil. Marking it down for later. I don't want to spend my food bar digging up soils, but that's handy to find. That was the first high fert I've seen so far, and I've been actively watching for it. It's just a slightly darker soil, but it's really nice to find. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story Primitive Survival, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you on next episode for an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors.